Hello and welcome to Wayne Valley Television. Tonight we have the Wayne Valley Indians home opener for the 2018 football season. They will be taking on the Passaic Valley Hornets. I'm here with Tyler Maines. And Tyler, what are some keys to the game?
Thanks, Eric. Some keys to the game for Wayne Valley. They need to get it going on the ground with Nick Troney. Troney's averaging over 130 yards rushing per game, putting up over 180 yards with 4 touchdowns last week versus Nutley in Wayne Valley's huge 40-19 win. That's going to be the key for Wayne Valley tonight. On the Passaic Valley side, they need to get in the end zone early, only averaging 3.5 points in the first 3 quarters of the game and 6.5 in the fourth quarter of the season. It's too little too late for the Hornets at Passaic Valley.
You can see the officials discussing it over with both teams' captains. Nicola Troney, number 1 for Wayne Valley, second year as captain. He was captain his junior year, which is pretty rare, but this should really tell you what this kid means to this team.
In last year's matchup between Wayne Valley and Passaic Valley took the win 28-19. So Wayne Valley looking for some revenge from last year's loss.
A lot of people don't know, but Wayne Valley and Passaic Valley have a very historical rivalry. A lot of focus gets put on Valley versus Hills game, but not enough goes onto Wayne Valley versus Passaic Valley. They've been rivals longer than Valley and Hills have been, so ultimately their history goes a lot deeper than the two teams.
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, these two teams, a lot of people say that Wayne Valley and Wayne Hills is the key rivalry, being crosstown rivals and all, but they named this matchup the Today Cup for a reason, because these teams really play well against each other, and we're going to have a great matchup tonight.
Junior Mo Gega lining up for the opening kick. And here we go. Passaic Valley will take it about their own 10-yard line, looking for blocks early. He'll be tackled a bit before his own 25.
So as we get ready to see Passaic Valley take the field, some interesting headlines in the preseason for them. Their senior quarterback was injured in the preseason, so junior quarterback Brian Taylor Jr. will step in under center for the Hornets.
Taylor Jr. looking to take his first snap on the night. And it'll be a run. Picks up about 3 yards there.
So the first play from scrimmage for Passaic Valley will be a rush of 3, and that'll take us to tonight's scouting report for Wayne Valley. First off, toolbox. Nick Trani. 5-tool player. He can pass the ball. He can run the ball. Great captain in the locker room. His pass defense is even up there with the best of them. Had an interception last week versus Nutley, and his run defense leads the team in tackles. Absolutely all-around player.
You mentioned Trani's interception last week. That was 1 of 4, so this Wayne Valley secondary is not one to mess with. It's going to be tough for Taylor Jr. to take chances downfield.
And so timeout here will take us to the number 2 on the scouting report. Win today. This is the Today Cup, Wayne Valley versus Passaic Valley. Passaic Valley, since 2007, has only won 1 game, and that was last year. Wayne Valley, prior to last year, was 10-0. So Wayne Valley looking to reclaim the Today Cup. And lastly, the no-fly zone. Wayne Valley had 4 picks last week against in their win against Nutley, so that'll be a key for tonight. We'll see how Passaic Valley can fare against that Indians defense.
Second down incoming for the Hornets. And looks like they'll run it to the outside, trying to find an edge there. Valley does a nice job of minimizing that play. And the Hornets will have about 3rd and 5. You mentioned it earlier, Tyler. These Hornets, they tend to start slow, so it's going to be a real key to try to find some momentum here in this opening drive, set the tone for the game.
Yeah, and it looks like Passaic Valley is coming out with big-time rushing out of their running backs, Antoine Rogers and Vinny Coletti. So we'll see how the Indian front can fare against that.
And pass to the outside. Almost picked off, but they'll end up catching it. We mentioned those 4 interceptions, and that one might have been taken to the house if the Valley defender was able to get it. He had a nice angle on his wide receiver. Almost got it that time. Taylor Jr.'s got to make smarter throws.
And we know Passaic Valley's knowledge of the run game. So Wayne Valley coming out in the 4-3 defensive scheme, prepared for the run.
And that's exactly what will happen as they run it. And they'll pick up a nice chunk of yardage that time. Passaic Valley doing a nice job here in the opening drive. Not going 3 and out. They're showing that they have some offensive plays that maybe it'll drive them down the field early on.
Yeah, and this really hasn't been something we've seen from Passaic Valley. I mean, we mentioned before that they've been slow out of the gates, and they haven't really scored much in the first 3 quarters of the game. So we'll see how many yards they can pick up on this first drive, as that'll set the tone how they play the rest of the game.
Taylor Jr. snaps it. They're going to run it, but not going too far as the Valley defense was ready for it.
Big tackle there by junior Jake DeLucia. He's been all over the defense this season for the Indians. Top 3 on the team in tackles. So he's been a key part of this defense.
Yeah, DeLucia plays a great role in that defense and also plays tight end on offense. He's certainly one of Valley's biggest receiving threats. Passaic Valley looking to get over midfield. And they'll run it. Looks like they picked up the first down that time.
Looks like they gave that one to Antoine Rogers. Now, Passaic Valley is an interesting team. They run a power back and they run a speed back. Their speed back, as we just saw, was Antoine Rogers. Their power back they bring in every once in a while, and Vinny Coletti. So we'll see how they switch it up here. They like to use Antoine Rogers a lot in the passing game. So we'll see whoever lines up could tell the Indians defense something.
Looks like there might have been a jump that Sign Valley, but it's a no call this time. And they'll run it again. One missed tackle, but doesn't go anywhere with the play. Like you were saying, Tyler, they got that typical speed back and power back in the backfield. Typically when people think of football, you think of that one dominating running back, but Passaic Valley employs a strategy of two, so it really just keeps the offense guessing, especially when they're both on the field.
Passaic Valley hasn't gone quite too far this drive, taking up a lot of time. Not going to leave Wayne Valley much time in this first quarter when all is said and done. So we'll see how time affects things.
Yeah, never a bad thing to keep the ball out of your opponent's hands. And here's a pitch to the outside. And it looks like Nicola Trani will bring him down behind the line. Biggest defensive play of the quarter for Wayne Valley.
Yeah, we talked about him on offense and we talked about him on defense. Nicola Trani, the senior captain, two-time captain, plays all over the field at the highest level you can possibly play. Really great player for this Indians team.
Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Two backs lined up in the backfield. Looks like Taylor Jr. will go back to pass, screen, and looks like Passaic Valley will get a good chunk of yardage out of this play, getting into Indian territory on that one. Beautifully designed play that time.
And there it is, the speed back, Antoine Rogers, coming out of the backfield with the reception. So Passaic Valley really knows how to mix it up. So they're picking apart the Wayne Valley defense right now.
Yeah, both of these teams really run through their running backs. For the Indians, it'll be Trani and Lugo. And for Passaic Valley, it is their two running backs, and it's really the focal point of the offense. So we'll see if they continue that trend. And it looks like they will, as they'll run it up the middle. Antoine Rogers is a big part of this offense, brings a lot of versatility to the table. You could pitch to him outside, you could throw a screen to him.
Dub V, the Wayne Valley student section here, big part of this game and how they can really affect things with their noise and distracting the opposing team.
Here's the snap, and they'll run it up the middle. Fighting off a couple defenders, so he'll make it near the first down marker. We see the strategy being implemented here early on by PV, but it's tough for Wayne Valley's coaching staff, specifically the defensive side, that defensive coordinator, to adjust when your players mainly just stay on the field. You have some going on and off the sidelines, but typically they're your key parts there. You just have to go out there and just do the thing. The feeling out process is still happening before our very eyes. And it's another run to the outside, almost brought down behind the line, but it looks like he'll pick up the first down near Indian red zone territory now for Passaic Valley.
And a big rush there by Antoine Rogers, and it appears a player is down for the Hornets. Never a good sign when you see an injury in high school football, or any level of football, at that matter. So the injury will give both teams a chance to regroup, and Passaic Valley will have a chance to make a substitution. And it looks like he'll get up under his own power and walk off, which is a really good sign. Gives the okay to the sideline, so that's good to see.
Yeah, football really known for its physicality. Unfortunately, the price they pay for it is sometimes they get injured, but the important thing is no serious injuries happen on this field. It's a big part of practice, always taking safe precautions. That's number one, especially for these high school kids. You want to go out there and have a good time and win, but first things first, you got to stay safe. Passaic Valley looking to continue this very impressive drive. Two backs in the backfield once again. And it looks like the run went up the middle, nearing Indian 10-yard line now.
So we mentioned pregame the scouting report, and the keys to the game. And one of the things was for Passaic Valley, they needed to get going on offense early, and we've certainly seen that big time for them. They need to get in the end zone, and if they don't, they're going to have a hard time keeping up in the game. And as we saw last week, they played Del Barton, lost 35-7, with those 7 points coming in the fourth quarter. They played well in the fourth quarter, but nothing to show for in the first three. Even Lakeland, week one for them, they played Lakeland and they lost 29-27. They scored 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, which if you score those the first or second quarter, the outcome of the game might be a little different.
Yeah, keeping those numbers in mind, the last thing Valley wants to do here is let up an early touchdown. And just think about it, this is the Passaic Valley's offense in full-fledged force, and this might be a touchdown. Accelerating towards the end zone. Looks like he'll be down at about the 3-yard line. 2, rather.
So now Passaic Valley on the goal line offense. We'll see if they bring in their big power back, Vinny Coletti, or if they'll keep Antoine Rogers and maybe run something in the air here on the goal line as we reach the 1 minute mark in the first quarter.
And it looks like they'll charge towards the end zone. Offensive line trying to get him there, and they will. Passaic Valley opening drive touchdown. Brian Taylor Jr., the quarterback, will take it himself. Great job by the offensive line, spewing off those Valley defenders.
Yeah, Brian Taylor Jr. took it himself. QB sneak up the middle. It looked like the Wayne Valley defense had him swallowed up. Taylor just jumped out of the pile and took it himself. So, really elusive play by Taylor.
Yeah, typically when you're that close to the goal line, you want to give it to your power back, and Vinny Coletti. Extra point is good. So Passaic Valley has a 7-0 lead over Wayne Valley. We'll see how the Indians decide to answer in their first offensive drive.
So a big score there for Passaic Valley. One of the things they needed to do was get on the board early. Now, it took them a bit of time as there's only about 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. But they're on the board nonetheless, and they have the lead against Wayne Valley.
Yeah, we really didn't see that one huge explosive play out of Passaic Valley, but truly, the way you write it up, that's a great offensive drive right there. That's a master-class example of how to rush the ball the right way, giving it to both of your backs, Rogers and Coletti, and ending it with Taylor Jr. going in the end zone. That was just a beautiful display of offensive football from Passaic Valley.
And Passaic Valley will get ready to kick it away as Wayne Valley was set to receive and get the ball for the first time on the offensive side. And it looks like there's a penalty on the field. I think they're going to get Passaic Valley on an offsides call. Costly penalty there, you can't commit, as that'll give Wayne Valley some better field position on the return. Silly penalties you don't see every single day, so Passaic Valley really needs to stay away from those.
And here is the kickoff. Wayne Valley Indians' first chance on offense now. It's scooped up. Can he get the blocks to advance? He finds an outside. And he will reach about the 36-yard line.
There's Elijah Lugo on the return. So we'll see who is the first to touch the ball at quarterback for Wayne Valley. We'll see if it's either Ryan Michaels or Nick Troney.
Michaels this year is 19 for 40 on completions, averages 78.3 passing yards a game, and has 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
And it is Troney in the shotgun to start it off.
As the clock winds down, the waning moments of the first quarter, Valley looking to get 1 or 2 more snaps off. And they'll go back to it. Troney running up the middle, getting about 10 yards again. If that play keeps on working, they will continue to use it. And it looks like this will be the end of the first quarter. The Passaic Valley Hornets lead the Wayne Valley Indians 7-0.
So right out of the gate, Eric, I mean, we're seeing a bunch of things from Passaic Valley surprising us, actually putting points on the board in the first quarter and getting in the end zone on their opening drive and taking a lead against Wayne Valley. And then the not so surprising thing from Wayne Valley, putting Nick Troney under center and just having him explode for 20 yards rushing on just 2 plays from scrimmage.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous that someone that big could just have that burst of speed.
We mentioned the big-time run game that Wayne Valley is trying to establish. Couldn't have been helped more by the offensive line of left tackle Ian Lancelotti, left guard Greg Fox, the center Ricky Ruggiero, the right guard Jordan Botero, and the right tackle Steve Simonetti. Big guys up front helping the Indians.
Left side of that offensive line, all seniors, and here's a play. Elijah Lugo on the carry. His first look of the game. 2nd and 5 now for the Wayne Valley Indians. Went to the left that time. Like we just said, Ian Lancelotti, Greg Fox, two very big men, both seniors, providing holes on that side of the line. Trani, he'll line up his quarterback again. He'll rush it up the middle. He has a hole. He'll make it a bit past the 20-yard line, and now he brings the Indians into the red zone. Nicola Trani eclipsing 30 rushing yards on Wayne Valley's just first drive. It looks like they will stick with Nicola Trani. Elijah Lugo in movement, but Trani will run up the middle. Good holes from the offensive line. Brings it to about the 10-yard line. Steve Simonetti that time, the right tackle, junior, giving Trani a nice spot to run there.
Eric, you want to hear something crazy?
Yes, I do.
Nick Trani already has 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, and that's just absolutely unheard of. This kid is such a talent.
Best part is he hasn't even lined up a running back yet.
It's absolutely mind-blowing what this kid could do. And the ref will whistle. Timeout, Wayne Valley Indians. They're going to try to draw something up, try to tie this game, try to get a nice play in the red zone going.
I mean, come on. What can Passaic Valley do? They just can't stop Nick Trani's explosiveness at quarterback right now.
It is so tough because we're talking about the offensive line, how effective it is. But truth be told, sometimes Trani doesn't even need an offensive line. He'll barrel a kid over. He's so strong and so quick. The offensive line is just the whipped cream on top of the sundae, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, Trani, 250 pounds, 6 feet tall. He can just take it, run it himself, and plow over a couple guys. And really carry him on his back for 15 yards if he needs to.
Yeah. Both offenses early establishing a dominant run game. Passaic Valley had that duo in the backfield. And for Wayne Valley, Elijah Lugo has gotten 1 or 2 looks, but primarily it's been Nicola Trani. No surprise here. Trani under center. Elijah Lugo in movement. They'll give it off to Lugo. Finds an edge. Looks like he'll get to the 6-yard line. Gets the first down in the process. And they'll run the play. It looks like they crossed it. Touchdown, Wayne Valley. Pending the extra point, this is a tie ball game.
Eric, any surprise who it is?
Absolutely not, Tyler. Number 19, junior Mogega, trying for the kick. And it is good. Wayne Valley has answered the opening drive of the Passaic Valley Hornets.
So one drive, not a single passing play. Nick Troney, 61 yards rushing. Lugo with 11. And the Indians take it 73 yards to the house on their first offensive drive.
Yeah, that's truly unheard of. But the challenge here is going to be, although Troney and Lugo serve both as very talented backs, you got to mix it up eventually, and you got to give it to Ryan Michaels, or maybe you stick with Troney and have him throw the ball and test his arm out a little bit. He's got some definite, respectable receiving targets in senior Max Ficker and junior Chase Hemming.
And one thing you love to see on the sideline, there's no quarterback competition. The first man greeted by Nick Troney on the sideline was quarterback Ryan Michaels. I mean, these two are great friends and support each other no matter who the coach decides to put in. Great showing his teammates.
Yeah, and really that's what this Wayne Valley Indian team is all about. The next man up needs to do their job, and it doesn't matter who that is. Wayne Valley will punt it off. Looks like it's a squib kick of some sort. And it looks like Wayne Valley recovered it. A very risky play. Still in the first half, they went onside kick, and it paid off big time. They can carry that momentum for the first drive right into this one.
A gutsy call by Coach Cutlars. Not an onside kick, not really a full kickoff, more of a pooch kick, as that ball did travel a good 30 yards in the air, but junior Mogega with a great kick.
Yeah, seriously, could not have kicked it better there. And here come the Indians. Nicola Troney breaking through, trying again the red zone once again for the Wayne Valley Indians. A 16-yard gain for Nicola Troney, adding to his already impressive rushing total, and he'll take it again, trying to go outside, trying to tightrope that. Oh, it looks like a flag's down. A couple flags now. Officials talking it over. Nothing ruins offensive momentum like a penalty, so this is a pretty big point early in the game. Officials still discussing it.
I think the Passaic Valley coach had something to say. Wanting to review something with the referees and see what the call is. They do get Wayne Valley with a hold.
Two penalties there. That's not what you want to see if you're a Wayne Valley Indian. The holding you could excuse, but unsportsmanlike conduct, not something you want on your team.
So the 16-yard gain by Troney ends up getting erased. And the Indians will start back at the Passaic Valley 46-yard line, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and one of the benefits of the pooch kick is you got the ball back if you do, and you're in good position, but they were set back here. Valley will run it again. It'll be second down for the Indians. It appears as though Ryan Michaels is now on the field. Valley going to change it up here. Back in the pocket, serious quarterback pressure. Lugo comes up with it, but still set back. Great swarming defense there from the Hornets. Valley will be set back 2 yards on that play.
3rd down and 32.
Yeah, talk about 3rd and long. This is a long way to go. So you have a couple options here. You can go for a pass, test Michael's arm, and see somehow could we convert this, or just play it safe, run it.
Looks like they're going to go with Troney in at the Wildcat quarterback.
Receiver in motion. Troney going back in the pocket. Got some time. He'll throw it. And incomplete. Was looking for Lugo there. These two really running this offense early. That'll bring up 4th down for Valley, and that shows you how dangerous these penalties could be because they were in such good field position, and they could have kept on marching, but a couple of them set them way back, and they were never able to get a 1st down that drive again.
Yeah, and getting caught in a holding penalty, that's one thing. That happens. Unsportsmanlike conduct, there's no excuse for that. You got to man up to your mistakes and just go along with the game. Setting your team back an extra 15 yards is not going to do anything well.
And the kick. Oh, and Passaic Valley looks like they didn't get a clear hold on it. We'll see who has the ball. No signal yet. And it looks like they recovered. Great break that time from the Hornets. They would have been placed right where they were before those penalties last drive.
Wayne Valley special teams coming up big so far. I mean, you saw the little pooch kick, onside kick, whatever you want to call it, to get the ball back. And then, I mean, you got to jump on that ball if you're getting down the field for Wayne Valley, though.
Yeah, as of now, Wayne Valley definitely winning the special teams battle. 7:31 here left in the first half. We are knotted at 7 apiece. Number 11 for Passaic Valley takes the snap here. Looks like they're going to run it. And Wayne Valley bringing them down for a short gain. That time it was Testa.
So they go with the power back, Vincent Coletti, to start off the drive.
Second and 9 now for Passaic Valley. See what they go with here. And there you go. The Indians once again pressuring Passaic Valley.
Senior Danny Murphy with the sack. Loss of 3.
Third and 12 now for Passaic Valley, and I believe that's the first sack of the game on either side. Danny Murphy doing a great job pressuring the quarterback that time. Murphy also a very good wrestler for the Wayne Valley Indians.
It's Murphy's first sack of the year. Hopefully first of many.
Less than 6 minutes remaining now. They'll take the snap. And they're looking pass again. Less pressure this time. Looks like they have a screen set up. And they'll get past the 20.
So they do go with the speed back there with the slip screen. Antoine Rogers out of the backfield. Looks like he'll pick up either 6 or 7 yards. Be about 5 yards short of the first.
It appears as though there may be a flag on the field. More referee discussion.
Let's see what the call is by head referee Art Alfieri. They'll get the offense for a chop block. Very rare penalty,
Yeah, not something you hear a lot.
especially not in high school football.
Wayne Valley will decline it. So that brings up 4th down for Passaic Valley. Looks like they will have to kick it away. And they will. Not too long of a kick. Looks like it won't pass midfield. And the Hornets will recover it at the 42-yard line. Not a long way to travel if you're the Wayne Valley Indians, already over midfield. Ryan Michaels once again on the field.
We've got 5:20 left in the first half. Score is tied 7-7 in the Today Cup.
Handoff to John Testa this time. Gets a decent chunk of yardage out of it.
And to start the season, it's crazy. Johnny Testa was the 4th string running back, but because of the injury to Salim Maksut and now Trani working as almost a second quarterback option for the Indians, he gets bumped up to the 2nd spot just behind Elijah Lugo, so he gets more playing time.
And here's the snap. Passing attempt. Looks like it may have been batted down that time. To Sean Roberts, incomplete nonetheless. Third and 4 for Wayne Valley. What do you do here, Maines?
Well, this is going to be the cliche answer, Eric, but if I'm Wayne Valley, I'm lining up Nick Trani in the shotgun, giving him the snap, and then letting him just plow through the defense.
And, well, the first half of that prediction's complete. Trani is. And it looks like he'll accelerate. Passaic Valley got him down. This could be close. Waiting for the ball spot. Looks like it'll be fourth and 1. We'll see if Valley goes for it here, because if they don't get it, you're really not giving Passaic Valley that great a field position. And it looks like they are going to go for it. 4th and 1, 4 minutes remaining here in the first half.
I mean, if you're going to ask me what call I'm going to play, I'm doing the same thing. Nick Trani up the middle, and that's what they go with on a first down.
Trani gets the yardage, approaching the red zone now for the Wayne Valley Indians. Could take the lead here at the end of the second quarter.
And as a wise NFL head coach once said, in reference to his great Wildcat quarterback, I mean, for Wayne Valley, Nick Trani is just the maple syrup on top of the pancakes up front. I mean, you get the offensive line with Ian Lancelotti, Greg Fox, Ricky Ruggiero, Jordan Patero, Steven Simonetti. All those pancakes up front. Just to top it off, Nick Trani plowing through the offensive line.
They do make quite the duo.
So with this timeout, that gives us an opportunity to mention that tonight is ALS Awareness Night. Throughout the week, Wayne Valley was selling T-shirts for a fundraiser to join the fight against Lou Gehrig's disease. T-shirts had the Wayne Valley logo in pinstripes in reference to the Yankees and Lou Gehrig. Sold during lunch times for Wayne Valley, which the football team will send over to a fundraiser for ALS awareness.
Yeah, certainly a great cause in memorializing the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. Trani gets a snap, almost sacked, but he fights it off. Could have been problematic for Wayne Valley, but he'll make a bad play into a decent one. Coming on 3 minutes now left in the first half. Valley facing the 2nd and 7. And here's Trani dancing in the pocket. Passaic Valley, great pressure that time. Number 35 setting Trani back to the 30-yard line. Biggest play on defense for Passaic Valley thus far. Valley facing a 3rd and 18 now. Receivers stacked to the left of the quarterback.
So Johnny Tester is right.
Yes, and Chase Hemming alone on the right side as a receiver. Let's see if Trani wants something. He'll take it himself instead. Could he get the first down? Bowls one kid over, but it seems like he is still short on the first down, but picked up a large chunky yardage that time. Fourth and 5 now for the Indians. Might not be the worst idea to go for it here. Not that much time left on the clock. We saw Passaic Valley's offensive style. It's really just gritty. There's not going to be many big plays out of it. They move methodically down the field. And yes, it looks like they are going for it. Nicola Trani lined up as the quarterback. Lugo in motion. Trani takes it himself. He'll get the first down and possibly a touchdown. Yes, he will. Wayne Valley takes the lead. Huge play out of Nicola Trani. Saw exactly what he wanted that time. And once again is the left side of that offensive line. Lancelotti and Fox making a beautiful hole for the big man.
Big quarterback draw right there by Nicola Trani, the Italian stallion, as they like to call him.
Extra point. Gega nails it. 14-7 in favor of Wayne Valley. 58 seconds remaining here in the first half.
So we mentioned pregame that Nicola Trani was going to be a huge part of this game. And, I mean,
he's lived up to that, certainly, if not surpassed it. The offense has been Trani, and a little bit more Trani.
That touchdown run actually puts him over 100 yards already on the game, and the half isn't even over. Trani, 102 yards rushing.
averages 94, so he's already eclipsed his average rushing yards per game. He could possibly have 200 by the end of this game. Mogega having a word with the official now.
So as Wayne Valley prepares to give Passaic Valley back the ball, just want to point out that Nick Trani is going for a milestone, trying to become the first Wayne Valley Indian to ever be captain junior and senior year and score on a receiving touchdown, rushing touchdown, and passing touchdown in both years. Amazing feat.
Yeah, seriously.
All he needs is a receiving touchdown this year, and he will already have achieved that.
And he's got plenty of games left to do that. Now the ball is certainly in the Hornets' court. 50 seconds to work here. We're not too aggressive with the passing attack, but they'll have to change that up here if they want to drive down the field.
If I'm the Hornets, I'd try and see what we can get in the passing game. I mean, we saw the running game works very well against Wayne Valley, but they don't really have the time to go to the run. And Wayne Valley gets the ball back at half, so the Hornets trying to get something before the half, maybe tie up this game.
And it looks like they'll hand it off for 1 or 2 yards that time. Greg Fox on the tackle. .26 seconds remaining here. Passaic Valley may just freeze at this point and just sign up for being down by 7 here. And Passaic Valley going for a passing play now. Deep Hall, but he overshot his man. Boombaka was close to it for Valley, but out of his reach as well. Passaic Valley looking at 3rd and 10 at this point, and 3 seconds left on the clock. Time for one more play here. And the final play of the first half will go down as a run, and an uneventful one at that. And the clock has hit 0. The Wayne Valley Indians lead at half, 14-7 against the Passaic Valley Hornets.
So, I mean, first half thoughts, Eric. I mean, first off, I'm surprised that Passaic Valley was able to come out early and put points on the board. I mean, that's something that they had to do. If they wanted to have a chance in this game, they went out and they did it. Something that's not surprising to me is the performance of senior captain Nick Trani. I mean, coming out already over 100 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown, just taking control of this game.
Yeah, you could make the argument that the opening drive from Passaic Valley, possibly the most well-rounded of the game, but it cannot be argued Nicola Trani has been the most dominant force in this game thus far, and we will see you in the second half.
tonight's winning 50-50 ticket. Tonight's winning number on the blue ticket. The number is 452142. Again, the winning number of 452142. If you have a winning ticket, please report to the snack stand. You're a winner in tonight's 50-50.
And welcome back to the second half of Wayne Valley and Passaic Valley. Beautiful night here, beautiful Friday night, nice and cool, 71 degrees. So Wayne Valley, I mean, we saw the first half was amazing. They just came out, or I really should say, Nick Trani came out and just absolutely dominated. I mean, stole the show for the Indians. And because of that, they lead this game 14-7.
Yeah, lots of credit has to be pointed towards Trani. Lugo had a couple nice plays, though, too. And the offensive line for Wayne Valley has been giving Trani what he needs and then some. And if you give a dangerous player like Nicola Trani gaps in that offensive line, that is huge. And that's how you pick up those huge chunks of yards. And as I believe he's already eclipsed 100 rushing yards on the game.
102 to be exact.
There you go.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if the Indians stick with what they've been doing and stick with Trani and just keep him running it through the gut of the offense, and they find success out of that, or maybe they go back to what they've done the first couple weeks of the season and just go with Ryan Michaels at quarterback, run Trani out there occasionally, not every single play like we've seen, but. I mean, Ryan Michaels, we've only seen about 3 times come out of the gun for Wayne Valley. So you got to wonder, maybe there is a changing of the guard in the quarterback.
Yeah, there really might be. Going back to last year, we saw Michaels step in for former senior Vinny Marone, and it looks like he was destined to be that guy going into his varsity year, starting at quarterback. But it seems like Nicola Trani has almost taken the reins from him.
Yeah, you mentioned Vinny. I mean, definitely wasn't all Vinny's fault, but the Indians struggled a lot last year, only finishing the season 1-9. If I can recall, I don't think they had any wins under Marone as the starter. So Ryan came in and got that one win. I think he lost 3 or 4 games, but still showed some promise as a junior, and now he comes out as a senior, starts off the season. They run Trani out a couple times, and he looks like the next big thing.
Yeah, but once again, the football is such a team-oriented sport. We talked about Vinny Marone. He is an amazing athlete. Went on to play football during college. Some of the pieces around him just weren't there. And right now, Nicola Trani seems to have him a really good core group, whether it's the offensive line or receiving targets. Haven't seen a lot of receptions at all tonight, but the targets are there if we need them.
And the quarterback position for Wayne Valley has been so deep. I mean, 2 years ago, the legendary season that Wayne Valley had as they went to the state championship game against Wayne Hills, led by senior Grant Ferrulo, who was actually just named the New Jersey Division II quarterback of the week this past week. So he's doing great at the next level in college. But after that, Vinny struggled, and Michaels wasn't amazing, but really hasn't been that one guy. So now Trani maybe changing the guard at quarterback position. Maybe Coach Cutlars decides to put him in permanently.
Yeah, regardless of the quarterback position, this offense and the plays they run, it's just not exactly standard compared to previous years. As Wayne Valley's on the return, looking to surpass that 40-yard line. Looks like they'll remain a bit shy of it. John Testa on the return that time.
It's a return of 25 to the 39-yard line. Indian Seeker with first and 10.
So Wayne Valley comes out on offense, and I do see quarterback Ryan Michaels out there getting the play calls from Coach Kotlars and Coach Kutzleb.
And Michaels will take the snap. Lugo in the backfield with him, but he'll pass it off to Sean Roberts. He'll get a gain on it. About 4 yards there. Looking at 2 and 6 now for the Wayne Valley Indians. That's Sean Roberts, senior. That's his first reception of the night. Michaels once again lines up with the quarterback. We got some movement. Hand it off to Lugo. Lugo with a nice burst of speed. Won't exactly get the first down, but a productive play there.
It's a gain of 4 to the 47, 3rd and 2.
So Michaels will stay out, and senior captain Nick Trani will come out to the field. So both guys out there now. We'll see who they decide to put at quarterback for this play.
It looks like that'll be Ryan Michaels with Trani in the backfield. It looks like they'll hand it off to him, trying to plow his way forward to a first down. We'll see where the refs spot it, but this is a close one.
See where they spot it. And they'll give him the first down.
Trani with a nice run up the middle. Nothing fancy or no finesse there, really. Just hard knocking offense right up the middle of the offensive line. Trani got the first. And the handoff. Lugo makes a man miss, but won't get much out of that play, if anything at all.
A couple fans in the stands wondering if number 5 for Passaic Valley was perhaps offsides. It looked like he was. Had his hand over the line of scrimmage, but I guess the officials with the no call, so he gets away with it.
Yeah, that's the great thing about football. It really seems to even out. We talked about the jump that Valley had. I believe it was in the first quarter. These things just seem to play themselves out. So ultimately, it's an even contest. Here's the snap. Trani back at the quarterback position. Has time, but instead will run it. Not many yards gained out of that.
Great job by Trani to avoid the strip sack as his arm was cocked back and ready for a pass.
Yeah, ball security, a big part of this Wayne Valley offense.
And as great as we've talked about Trani, he has fumbled the ball once this season. Didn't lose it though, as he jumped right back on it. But even the best of players aren't perfect.
Wayne Valley looking at 3rd and long now, 11 yards to that first down marker. Just under 9 left here in the 3rd quarter of play. Wayne Valley up 14-7. And here it is. Michaels back. Valley will get it. Lugo trying to accelerate. Seems to be a stop and play though. The penalty flag is down. And it seems like Wayne Valley will get a break here as Passaic Valley roughs the passer.
Definitely a late hit by the Hornets as the as quarterback Ryan Michaels was hit below the knees and late after the ball was released. So a good call by the refs, and the Indians catch a break.
Yeah, it looked like Lugo had some wheels on that play, but they won't need it this time. Valley gets rewarded with a new set of downs. And it looks like Trani will take it himself.
So Trani will pummel forward for a gain of 4 there as he takes it himself.
2nd and 6 now. Trani lined up as the quarterback. He's got a couple receivers on both sides of him. Lugo in motion now. And it looks like he'll take it. But really nothing behind that play that time. Passaic Valley doing a great job of applying pressure. Sean Roberts and Ryan Michaels heading on the field. As Trani and DeLucia head off. Third and 8 here for the Wayne Valley Indians. Big chance to extend their lead. Michaels will pass it. He'll get out. Possibly a first down here. Yes, and he'll tightrope the sidelines, and he'll get the first down and then some.
Chase Hemming with a great reception off the slip screen, off the wide receiver pick. Takes it down inside the 15, around the 15-yard line for the Indians.
Yeah, Hemming has been the premier receiver this year. 2nd on the team with 7 receptions, 125 yards starting this game, and a touchdown. Also along a 32. Beautifully executed play there. Now it looks like the run up the middle. Nicola Trani making some progress there.
Stop by Stephen Newberry. Gain of 6 to the 14, 2nd and 4.
Newberry for Passaic Valley making the tackle that time. And here's the play. Looks like they're giving it to Trani. Burst of speed up the middle. Can he get in the end zone again? And it looks like they're calling him down at the 1-yard line or so. First and goal for the Wayne Valley Indians. Nice burst of speed from Nicola Trani that time. Indians first and goal. They can go to a variety of plays here. Got a couple to burn as it is first down.
See if they stick with the run.
Yes, and it looks like it'll be a QB draw. Flags are down on the play, however. Looks like it's a dead ball.
And they call an encroachment on the defense. So the ball was originally placed at the half-yard line. Now it'll be placed at the quarter-yard line.
Yeah, Hornets not helping themselves out, and Valley will go back to the well, and they'll get a touchdown out of this, extending their lead. Ryan Michaels keeping it himself. Got the push from his offensive line. And Jake DeLucia was right behind him, forcing him in the end zone.
So after a big 100-plus yard half from Nick Trani, Ryan Michaels says, give me some of that love. takes the ball 1 yard into the end zone, touchdown Indians.
Yeah, beautifully executed there by Ryan Michaels. Michaels is a big part of that play, and honestly, so is everyone on the offense, just pushing him relentlessly forward. And the kick, it is good. Wayne Valley extending their lead to 21-7, up a couple scores now with just under 6 remaining in the third quarter. Michaels has to be very pleased with that drive. Had a couple of key throws there to Robertson Hemming, and then took it in himself to end it. Michaels being congratulated by all of his teammates. You can tell this Wayne Valley Indian team, truly a team united.
Yeah, and a team that really knows that they need to pick up a home win. Haven't had a win on home turf since 2016, so it's been a while for the Indians.
Yeah, pretty crazy fact there, and a win here on the home turf would set them up at 500, 2-2. Ogego will kick it off. Passaic Valley gets it, trying to take it back here. Nice black block there in the back. But they'll get him down at about the 30-yard line.
Loss on the return, brought down by Danny Murphy.
So you got to wonder, I mean, last night was Thursday night football, Browns, Jets. Browns pick up their first home win since 2016 season. Quarterback Ryan Michaels was sitting at home on his couch. Big Browns fan, we know that. Perhaps he got inspired, be like, hey, maybe this team needs a home win. Haven't had one since 2016 as well.
Yeah, certainly playing the Baker Mayfield in this instance. But Passaic Valley will try to say something about that, as it'll be a pass to the outside, but it's bobbled. Looks like the Indians did not come up with it, but very close to an interception there.
Nearly intercepted by junior Jake DeLucia. He's been all over the defense tonight, making tackles, breaking up passes. He's been great for the Indians.
We're not even in the fourth quarter yet, but an interception there, that would have been a huge gut punch towards Passaic Valley, and just an absolute mood killer. Passaic Valley facing 2nd and 10. Two running backs lined up in the back. And it looks like they'll hand it off. Not a huge gain here, if any at all. Looks like Rogers for the Hornets gained about a yard on that play, facing 3rd and long.
It's amazing to me that throughout this game, both teams combined, you can probably count how many passing attempts there's been on one hand.
Yeah, that is extremely rare. It's an anomaly.
I mean, we just saw one nearly intercepted pass by Passaic Valley. I think Wayne Valley has 4 or 5. Passaic Valley maybe 1 or 2. So,
yeah, about 6 or 7 combined. Pretty nuts. But it looks like they might be going past here, and it'll be a deep heave down the field. Nothing there that time. And that'll bring them to 4th down. Lugo will go on the field to return this punt.
So one thing I'm curious to see now, Passaic Valley knows that they're down. They know that they need to come back in this game. They are known for getting points late, so will that be a factor in this game? We will have to find out.
Yeah, we talked about it. They could really turn it on towards the end. Lugo call a fair catch that time at about the 34-yard line.
We mentioned Passaic Valley's ability to put up points late. Another key factor that we mentioned pregame was Wayne Valley's no-fly zone and how well they've defended the passes throughout their first couple weeks of the season. If I'm not mistaken, Passaic Valley has completed one pass tonight. And I know they haven't had a lot of opportunities, but still, you got to keep that in mind for Wayne Valley's passing defense. They've been outstanding.
Yeah, it really just shows how good these cornerbacks have been for Wayne Valley and the safeties, everyone in that secondary. It looks like Michaels will go to Sean Roberts, but a whistle stops the play.
Looks like he completed the pass, but Sean Roberts was on one knee when he caught the ball, so he was marked down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 2.
They like going to Sean Roberts, you see on that out route. He's definitely an impact player. Got a lot of speed. Very great athlete in his own right. Plays boys volleyball as well. And Michaels fakes the throw, but this one will be run. Penalty flag thrown out.
And the call by Art Alfieri will be holding on the Indians. We know the penalties can really hurt a team. I mean, if Wayne Valley gets backed up enough here, they won't have an opportunity to really get a first down. And then you might see them turn the ball over to Passaic Valley, give them some good field position to maybe come back in this game.
Yeah, Wayne Valley is the lead here. And on second and long, and very long, need I add, second and 20 specifically, I'm not sure deep passes are the way to go here. With a lot of impact run plays coming from Lugo and Trani throughout the game, you might just want to take a chance and see if they could break through the secondary. Another stoppage in play. The Indians will call their first timeout.
So Coach Collar is having a word with his offense, maybe telling them, guys, I mean, you're up 21-7. You have a good grasp on this game, but still some good time left in this half. I mean, plenty of time for Passaic Valley to potentially come back in this game.
Yes, seriously, the last thing you should do is get cocky. This Passaic Valley team is an extremely capable team. .325 remaining here in the third quarter. The Wayne Valley Indians leading 21-7 over the Passaic Valley Hornets. And they will get out of the huddle. Ryan Michaels lined up as the quarterback. But there's some movement from Lugo, but they'll fake it. And now a nice pass from Michaels, but it won't go anywhere. Chase Hemming with his second reception of the evening. Valley facing a 3rd and 17 now. Time, if you're the Wayne Valley coaching staff, it is time to measure the risk and the reward of this play.
Maybe play it safe.
It looks like they're not going to play it safe. Ryan Michaels taken down. However, Elijah Lugo has the ball. Possibly a first down and possibly more. Lugo breaks away to the 20, the 10, trying to get in the end zone. Ends up being at his own 5-yard line. Elijah Lugo with a huge play. Valley went risk, and it paid off in a huge way.
And an amazing rebound by Elijah Lugo. Running his route, Ryan Michaels was under pressure. Ball was actually tipped at the line. Lugo had to adjust to it and followed some blocks and turned it into a huge gain all the way down to the 5-yard line for Wayne Valley.
Yeah, and we've been raving about this offensive line. Not too much time was given to Michaels there, but yet he found Lugo, and Lugo broke a couple tackles, and there was no going back from there. Now Valley having a chance to extend their lead. They're going to run it with Trani up the middle. Second and goal for the Indians. Looking to put this one out of reach.
So we talked all night about how the rushing game was key for both sides of the ball.
And there it is again, Nicola Trani with another touchdown. That was just a great offensive drive all around. Michaels playing a huge part, Lugo playing a massive part, and Trani will finish it off with a short yard run touchdown. Valley trying to extend their lead to 28-7 now. And the extra point will be, looks like it'll be no good. So now Valley up 27-7 on Passaic Valley. And if you're Passaic Valley, that's really the last thing you want in Mainz.
I mean, that was unlucky and just bad defense by Passaic Valley. Unlucky that Lugo was able to adjust the ball so well after the pass by Michaels was deflected midair and then turned it into a huge gain all the way down the field. Averaged maybe around 70 yards on that play. And then even Trani punching it in, just all things working for the Indians on all sides of the ball.
Valley's going to kick it away to Passaic Valley now. And if you are the Hornets, you really need to score in this drive. You don't want to go into the fourth quarter down by more than 2 scores. And here is the kick. Passaic Valley surpassing the 20-yard line. Now getting a few blocks. Nice return there from the Hornets.
So Trani already with 130 yards on the ground. I mean, third quarter not even over yet. And, I mean, this guy's just taken over the game for the Indians. 2 touchdowns on the ground.
We've been raving about Trani all game, truly, but biggest play from scrimmage, it has came from Michaels to Lugo. Passaic Valley going to try to mix it up here. And they'll run it. Valley defense really not letting them go anywhere that time.
You got to wonder when the breaking point for Passaic Valley is going to be. I mean, they've been running the ball all game long, and I mean, the scoreboard can tell you that it hasn't been working for them. Worked well in the first drive, but that's really it. So maybe you go to the air if you're Passaic Valley. I don't know. They got to figure something out, and they got to figure something out quick.
Yeah, the Indians definitely outmatched on that first offensive drive. However, they've really developed and adapted to that run scheme that Passaic Valley's bringing forward quite well. Passaic Valley looks like they'll pitch it back. Going the opposite way now. This could be a big play. Flag thrown, though.
Defensive lineman Greg Fox getting into a little scuffle. Possibly could be part of the penalty, as Passaic Valley could be called for a hold. And that's what it is, holding on the Hornets. So you're trying to come back in the game. You're down by 20, 3 possessions. I mean, holding penalties aren't going to help you.
Yeah, that's really not something they could afford at this juncture of the game. The time to strike for Passaic Valley is just getting worse and worse, truly. They certainly have a game against the clock at this point. And looks like they'll pass it off. Not a big gain there.
Passaic Valley's longest pass of the night.
That is definitely a telling stat.
You got to wonder what that coaching staff is thinking. I mean, obviously, running game's not working. Maybe you go to passing game? Apparently not.
Yeah, they seem extremely stubborn in their play call. But at the same time, not a terrible play drawn up, but Schneelock, Wayne Valley Sr., really went out of his way to make that tackle. Pretty athletic move there.
Yeah, so a timeout here by Passaic Valley. See what they draw up. I'm sorry, not a timeout. That was the end of the third quarter.
And at the end of the third, Wayne Valley is up 27-7. So Passaic Valley is a long way to go.
Now, if you're a fan of Passaic Valley, there is some hope. Against Lakeland, they did score 21 points in the fourth quarter. So there's always a chance.
Yeah, we talked about it. This Passaic Valley team truly gets their legs under them in the closing moments of the game. Wayne Valley, the last thing they should be doing is marking this one in the win column already. You cannot sleep on this Hornet team.
If I'm Wayne Valley, I'm seeing this as a great opportunity. I mean, you're up by 20, start of the fourth quarter. If you get one more score on the board, that's a 4-possession game. The odds of Passaic Valley coming back from that are very slim. So you get up by 4 possessions, you can try some new stuff on offense or defense.
And there's a pass trying something different that time. Looks like they'll pick up the first down. So if you're Passaic Valley, that's exactly what you need. Great pass and catch that time. Passaic Valley working at midfield. They have 1st and 10. And it looks like they'll do a reverse run here to the outside, trying to pick up some yardage, and they will. Picking up about 7 that time.
And we mentioned the point differential being an opportunity for Wayne Valley to try out some new things. What about Passaic Valley going with the reverse sweep? Down by 20 points.
Yeah, certainly some creativity here. That is one of those plays, though. If you get the defense at the exact wrong moment, he could have taken it to the house. But yeah, it is a risky move.
So they go with the quick handoff to the running back.
Passaic Valley looks like they're facing 3rd and 3 now.
Passaic Valley really taking plenty of time to draw up a play here. Maybe something special, maybe another reverse sweep. Down by 20, certainly not unconventional.
3rd and 3 here. And quarterback being pressured, and he will overthrow his receiving target. Valley doing a nice job of pressuring the quarterback, not giving him a lot of time.
Yeah, senior Danny Murphy with a great pass rush. Passaic Valley's quarterback looks a little shaken up after the play. Perhaps holding his passing arm. We'll see what results of that.
Looks like 4th and 3rd here. If you're Passaic Valley, no doubt about it, you got to go for it. But they'll mull it over a bit longer as they'll waste their first time out. .9:21 remaining in this affair. Passaic Valley not foreign to comebacks, but it is going to take a lot if they want to snatch this one from Wayne Valley. Got to give credit where credit is due. And Passaic Valley, they have been a little bit more aggressive here in the 4th quarter, going with a little bit more of a passing attack, which is exactly what they need.
Well, we go back to the pregame Tyler scouting report, and we had obviously Passaic Valley really showing up, racking up the points on the scoreboard in the 4th quarter so far this season. And they've coming out, not going to say on fire, but a lot more lively than they have the first 3 quarters.
Got to convert here. Looks like they're going past the deep pass, but nobody is there. Quarterback and the receiving target, looks like they weren't on the same page there, so the Indians will take over on downs.
Ronnie forcing the quarterback to throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, a couple of key guys on this defense. Lance Alotti's definitely been a factor, and of course, Trani.
As Wayne Valley will take over on downs.
Yeah, and if you're the Wayne Valley Indians, no shame in running the ball here. That's exactly what they'll do. You just want to burn the clock at this point. No need to take risks when you got a 20-point lead in the 4th quarter.
So the point differential may be a chance for some fans to escape the parking lot a little early. Unless we see something absolutely crazy It's really been a one-handed show by Wayne Valley.
Looks like they'll run the ball, gaining some yards, and more importantly, they're eliminating some time on the clock. Looks like Valley's dealing with a 3rd and 7 here. And here's the play. Possibly a first down there. Looks like they got the first down. Michaels, a little bit of confusion going on with the sideline. Trani heading out amongst others.
They're going to bring out the chains to spot the ball. And they'll give them the first down as Wayne Valley converts.
If you're Valley, the only thing on your mind is making sure Passaic Valley does not get the ball back. And all it really takes is a conservative offense with great ball security, which Valley's been pretty astute at thus far. And it looks like they'll run it again. Big gap this time for Nicola Trani. Second and short now for Wayne Valley.
Now, as a fan, I kind of just want to see them give it a Trani and just see what he can do every single play. Already 138 yards on the ground.
And there's a handoff. They'll get the first down there. And yeah, a couple different angles you can go here if you're Valley. You could pad those stats a little bit more. Or you could bring some people who haven't gotten as many rushes in this case, because we're talking running backs, give them some experience.
As we saw Johnny Testa take that one, Lugo's been taking some really important snaps here in the fourth quarter. 3rd down plays, 4th down plays.
Yeah, the biggest play of this game belongs to Lugo. And here we are again. A nice run up the middle for Wayne Valley. Smash mouth football at its finest. Looks like a Wayne Valley Indian limping on the way out, unfortunately. We believe that was Botero limping off. Valley looking at a 2nd and 4th. No surprise here, they'll run it again.
So as Wayne Valley looks to cap off this game, I mean, one thing you don't want to see is a player like Jordan Botero walk off limping. David Trinidad last week against Nutley came off the field with a shoulder injury. He's out tonight, possibly for the next couple of weeks. So defensive line is definitely seeing their fair share of injuries. So maybe that's something we can keep an eye on in the next couple of weeks.
Penalty flags there. It looks like somebody got an early jump. Looks like encroachment was called. First down for the Wayne Valley Indians now. 5:10 remaining here. And the chances of a Hornet comeback just becoming smaller and smaller. Looks like they'll run it here. Going to the outside. Big impact play that time. That was Nick Duncan.
So Wayne Valley really going down the depth chart here. Nick Duncan lined up at the running back position. Also Max Ficker lined up at wide receiver. First time we've seen him out tonight. He's been dealing with his fair share of injuries as well. Good to see him out on the field.
Looks like they'll take that play back. Indians seem to have committed a penalty. And it looks like another Nick Duncan rush here. This is a great time for Wayne Valley to experiment with some unorthodox stuff. See what works and see what doesn't.
Yeah, maybe give those sophomores and juniors a chance to play in a game where, I mean, Passaic Valley's chances of coming back are really non-existent at this point.
And now Michael's keeping it himself. Oh, and looks like some physical contact after the whistle. Never what you want to see there. Penalty flag down.
When we mentioned rushing yards to him, Ryan Michaels told us, hey, I can be a mobile quarterback, and we saw it there with that 10-yard rush. Doesn't have the stats that maybe his fellow senior Nick Trani does, or maybe even junior Elijah Lugo, but his quarterback can be mobile as well.
Yeah, Michaels certainly has the ability, and it's really hard to argue that Michaels has not done his job, and a little bit more in this case, this game. Really, no clear mistakes from the man they call QB1. Indians looking to extend on their lead even more. Some fresh faces in the offensive picture. Time winding down. And victory for Wayne Valley coming closer and closer. And they'll hand it off. Trying to get in the end zone here. It looks like they'll call him down before the goal line. Duncan had the ball that time.
And I know Wayne Valley is trying to run out the clock and take as much time as possible and leave Passaic Valley with as least amount of time as possible, but I want to see them put Nick Trani and get another touchdown, get his third touchdown, get the hat trick.
Everybody loves the hat trick. Looks like they're stinking with Nick Duncan in the backfield.
Should I follow 59?
Couple guys in the backfield. Looks like they gave it to Nick Duncan, trying to accelerate forward. Won't get in the end zone that time. Third down now for the Wayne Valley Indians. Approaching 2 minutes left in the fourth.
We mentioned in the beginning of the game how big this rivalry is and how big this rivalry means to both teams, both Wayne Valley and Passaic Valley. At the beginning of the game, the Passaic Valley stands were packed, now only about a half full.
Yeah, and Michaels had a little bit of trouble with the snap that time, but brushed it out to Nick Duncan. Still not able to get in the end zone, though. Looking at fourth down now.
No field goal.
Russell 2 to the 4. That you made that Russell 1 to the 3. Fourth and goal.
Approaching the 1 minute mark here in the fourth quarter. And looks like they'll give the ball to Duncan again, trying to plow forward, and he'll get the touchdown. Valley finally broke through, and Duncan will get his first rushing touchdown of the evening.
Great blocking up front by the offensive line, giving Nick Duncan the opportunity. Poke one in there for the score. Put Wayne Valley up by 4 possessions now, as Gago will try on the extra point.
Missed his last time, extending Wayne Valley's lead. 34-7 now. A minute 2 remaining, and this one is out of reach for the Hornets.
So, I mean, as much as we love talking about it, I think we've talked enough about what Trani's done for the offense this game. Let's give a little some appreciation to the defensive line for Wayne Valley. I mean, up front, Shaquay Anderson, Greg Fox, Justin Lopez, Ian Lancelotti, all the guys just plugging up the offensive line for Passaic Valley, giving them no room to run whatsoever.
Yeah, besides that first score, the Wayne Valley defense all around, like you were just saying, the defensive line, the Greg Foxes of the world, and the corners in the secondary, the Liam Drings of the world, really all around, they're coming together and making it very difficult for Passaic Valley to get anything going.
And Justin Lopez, we talked about him on the defensive line, getting the opportunity in a spot start for the injured David Trinidad. I mean, what a showing by the defensive line with Trinidad out.
Yeah, with a key guy out, you really don't expect this from the defensive line, but the guys have been there, they filled in, and everybody stepped up.
Passaic Valley will take one out for about a 10-yard return out to the 25-yard line. Junior Anthony DePalma with the stop.
And it looks like Wayne Valley will get their first home win since 2016. This is a big deal for the Wayne Valley Indians. Dub V is a huge part of the football culture that goes on at this school. Valley making some nice tackles as this game will expire very soon.
So we mentioned the success that senior Nick Trani had. We mentioned the success of the defensive line in the absence of David Trinidad, key factor in the leadership aspect of the game. Ryan Michaels not always in, but always doing his job when he has that role opportunity.
Yeah, when called upon, Ryan Michaels delivered. Should be the final play of the game, and it'll be a run, and a nice one for Passaic Valley as the man gets through. He keeps on going. Wayne Valley's going to try to bring him down here, and they will, and as they do, time will expire. The final score is the Wayne Valley Indians 34 and the Passaic Valley Hornets 7. Wayne Valley a dominant showing on both sides of the ball.
I mean, every single aspect of Wayne Valley's game was on point tonight. Huge win for Wayne Valley in front of the home fans. First win at home since 2016, so that's always a good sign. And we'd also like to congratulate Mrs. Damer on her first time as the executive producer of the Video Club. This is her first year in the Wayne Valley television program, taking over for Mr. Randall, who was here for 20 years. Really made his mark on the program. Ms. Damer looks to keep that legacy going.
Yeah, it seems to be a new chapter in Wayne Valley television. And now for Wayne Valley football, a new chapter begins. For Tyler Maines, I'm Eric Bender. Thank you for watching Wayne Valley Television.